we, Pollyanna, Tipsy, and myself, are actually headed down to John Deere to pick up some parts. We called ahead and paid for it and had them leave it outside for us, so we're headed down now to pick it up so we can kind of get things going tomorrow. So they wanted to go. Of course, Tipsy kind of always wants to go, and now that I've got her, she likes to sit in the front, and she'll, as you can see, she's kind of glued to the windshield. Tipsy, she just chills out. She sleeps. Tips don't care. She just kind of likes to go, I guess. Anyway, yeah, we should be working all weekend. Of course, we're really not taking many days off. We're so far behind on stuff, but had a good day of cutting. A good day of cutting yesterday, because I didn't get the video up yesterday. I meant to, and I kind of explained that in today's video. I really critique myself. I'm picky about what I post, about what I like, or I might film something like that. I don't like that, I don't like that, and I'll delete it. So I don't put up everything I film because I go back through and kind of edit it my own way, I guess you could say. So, but yeah, guys, thanks a lot for following along. Be sure to check us out on all of our social outlets, Turn to Logging LLC at Instagram, Facebook. We got about 36 hours of the sale remaining at Logger Threads. We've been running a big sale all week. We've sold a lot of clothes this week, a lot of shirts. A lot of people are taking advantage of it. So you can go to the loggerthreads.com website, and when you go to checkout, use promo code TIMBER20, and it'll save you 20% off your order, which doesn't sound like much, but we've seen some pretty big orders come through this week. We shipped another big one out today to Wisconsin, so we've seen a lot of big orders come through this week. People stocking up on the worker high-vis shirts. I'm assuming for them and their crew, workers, themselves, friends, whatever it may be. But people are stocking up, getting on the stuff. So yeah, take advantage of it. Use it. Buy threads. The more threads we sell, the faster we come out with new designs. Everything we make, we just dump right back into Logger Threads. It's fun to do. It's fun to design clothes for the logging industry. So yeah, definitely check that out. All logger owned and operated. Well, thank you. So check all that out, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And me and the girls, we might stop and get some ice cream. They've been pretty good girls. Enjoy. See you guys later. I'm getting pretty bad about like yesterday. I had quite a bit of footage yesterday. I probably had 8 minutes for a video yesterday, and I ended up deleting it. I just wasn't happy with how it turned out, and I'm getting pretty particular about just the stuff that I try to make into a video and post. Let me turn this radio off, it's bugging me. But it's rain. They've been getting rain up here. Of course, they always get rain, but they've been getting quite a bit. So we cut yesterday. And this morning, I didn't get up here super early because it was raining. I got up here about 10 o'clock, maybe a little after 10. But it was raining, so it's rained some of the morning up here, not near as much here as it was at home. Of course, you can see some of the water in the log road here. But I got up here this morning and I cleaned up the log deck, where we stage our grade logs. I got them piled up. I hope they come and get some soon, because I don't think we can go another round of piling up logs. So hopefully we can get a break in the wet weather here, and they can get in here and get some logs out. Now, in the bucket there, I've got my saws, my gas and oil, and I'm headed back here to the back to cut some trees. Since Dad's not up here with me, I don't have his Ranger, so I use the skid steer to get me from A to B. Of course, it's got air conditioning in it, and I'll probably try to sweep the road up in some places back here. I try to keep all these roads maintained with skid steer, keep them open and clean. I know the guys in the club here, they sure appreciate it. They can kind of run back through here with no trouble. We're going to go back here and we're going to try to get a couple tanks of gas, run through the saw, get some trees cut. I'm going to cut that big cottonwood there still yet, but it's going to fall across the road. And actually, I'm going to cut that elm first, then cut that cottonwood. But I think it's going to fall right out in here. But we want to get some more cut back here before we do that. Run on back through here. Pretty slick, pretty greasy. Yeah, knocking down some big ones this morning. This afternoon, whatever you want to call it. It's a little afternoon right now. Kind of got them laying in there every which way now. There's a pretty good concentration of them right here. I got an ash right there. We'll leave that ash, we'll let him grow. A good maple here, good maple there, good maple there, good maple here. Of course, this cottonwood, we definitely want to get him as big as he is. But we're gonna, in instances like this, you really got to pay attention to which tree you cut first. So what we will do is we'll start over here with these two maple and bring those down. And then we'll probably get this maple here down, and then we'll bring that cottonwood down. Then we'll bring this hash and this maple down behind it. So it's almost like a game of pick up sticks. That way you just don't, because these trees got such prominent leans to them, there's really no swinging them around, or it'd be tough to. Somebody that's probably good at cutting could probably do it, but it ain't me. I just get them on the ground. I'm no magician. But they're good trees. We definitely don't want to leave them. Now we're right here at the very far southwestern corner of the property. They actually call this the boot. Let me get over here. Sure we don't find old sneaky snake. Seen a little snake over here yesterday. He was, I say little, he was probably close to 2 foot long. I couldn't catch him in time to see what he was. But so right here we're at the banks of the Osage River. Watch my step. Grass is pretty tall. So the Osage is a pretty good sized river, and this area they call Four Rivers. Actually, right across the river is Four Rivers Conservation Area. Augustus Bush, Four Rivers, whatever you want to call it. But on down the river where the Bates County drainage ditch runs in, the Osage gets really big. Now, right here is where the old Meridazine channel runs in. And the Bates County drainage ditch is actually, it's a man-made ditch, but they built it back in around 1900 or a little after to straighten out the Meridazine channel. And this is all that's left of the mouth of the Meridazine. Of course, it's all silted in, filled in over time. I'm sure where we're standing was once a river. But there's still some water that comes down every now and then when they get a lot of rain out in Kansas, around Ottawa, Topeka, because that's where all the rain or the water comes from for Bates County and Meridazine. But this is it. This is the old channel. Talk about a place to trap. Right there's it, man. That's a good place to catch some otters. Otters, beaver, coon, mink, anything right there. But on the other side here, this is all conservation ground on the other side of the ditch here too. So, no going over there. But, like I said, right here, we're at the very foot of the place. We've got a long ways to go to backtrack. We've got over a mile to go that way with timber to cut. And not to count all back, probably at least a quarter, a little better. Well, yeah, I'd say probably a half now that I think about it. Probably a mile by a half. That's what we're looking at. So, we got several to cut, but we got some good ones right in here. There's these spider webs. That's not a bad ash, but the beavers have got to him over time. See, the beavers have worked on him. Now, there's a lot of piles of driftwood right in here, but this, where these two rivers come together, I'm sure this gets big, deep. I know all this gets underwater a lot. It's not uncommon for all this to be underwater. So, let's see if we can get these couple maple down here. Then we'll start on these others, and we'll have a pretty good group of them. I know me and Dad worked right in here yesterday, and we really slayed the trees. Both of us did. He kind of worked over here in this little concentration, and I started further on up the Meridazine channel. Then I looped over and around and come down in here, and we kind of, more or less, I don't want to say we met and come together, but I started working back this way. I mean, we could keep our distance and keep an eye on each other because this timber is open enough. Wearing, of course, I wear high vis and hard hat. I wear the Logger Threads high vis a lot of days just for that reason. But we could see each other and we'd kind of watch each other where we're cutting and what we're doing. But today it's just me out here, so there's not really much to worry about, which is nice sometimes when you can just cut and be in your own little world. So let's get these guys on the ground. A lot of footage in these old trees, especially in that old cottonwood there. That's a buster. That is a buster. I'm getting dull. I didn't bring any files back here with me, so we'll just head on out for the day. Friday, might just take it a little easy today, then come back and hit it again tomorrow. Let's sneak around here. We got several cut. Big trees too. That's the thing. You don't have to cut a lot of them when you're cutting the big ones to get your volume. I was gonna run over here real quick and take a look at the skidder. Hopefully tomorrow we can get the U-joint put in it. I was hoping we'd do it today, but they didn't have them in stock, and that's unusual because usually these older Deeres like this, I mean, usually they're a pretty common U-joint. The experience we've had with them, we've had to replace one or two in our time. But yeah, they didn't have these in stock yesterday, the place we normally get them. And then they were pretty expensive compared to normal. They were $120 a U-joint on the new ones. Now, usually we can get into these U-joints for like 60 or 70 bucks, sometimes cheaper. I said these older Deeres, a lot of stuff was interchangeable with the ag tractors, and that's what made things cheap, especially on like the old A and B model Deeres, and probably even the C's. There was a lot of things interchangeable with the ag tractors and the forestry skidders, and I'm assuming this D model is the same way. So we'll hop off here real quick, take a look at this thing, and we're gonna head out. I'm thirsty and hot. I'm soaked to the bone. Even though it's cooling down, it's still, you get down here in this timber, it's still hot, still real hot. I always try to bring a extra shirt with me or two. It's one thing to be working in a shirt that's soaking wet, but I don't like riding home in them. Don't like riding home in them. All right. About got everything cut right through here. Well, I think we got a couple just right over here, a couple cottonwood I wanted to get, but other than that, I think we about got her cut right in here on the point. Let's see if we can slip and slide out of here. We got logs stacked and piled up everywhere. And some of my stacking job isn't the best, as you can see. I was sliding around, and I was just happy to get them over there. But yeah, that's a terrible stacking job on my part. But like I said, I'm just trying to get them out of the way for now. But this old mud in here, these even though I praise these rubber track skid steers all the time because of their mobility, and they will go extremely well in most conditions and terrain. But in the snow, ice, or hard packed mud like this, the tracks just sit there and spin. I mean, they'll still go, but turning's what's hard. And especially if you put some weight on the forks and get that weight out in front of you, it makes it that much more difficult. But at the same time, I can still go where a wheeled machine would have a lot of trouble doing it, if it could do it at all. And that's why, if for working off-road, I think tracks is the only way to go. I really do. For working off surface, off hard surface anyway. I mean, if you're on concrete or asphalt, yeah, tires. But if you're working kind of out here in the boonies and stuff like that, yeah, I definitely think tracks is the only way to go with a skid steer. So we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna stop there at Rockville and get me a bite to eat. Maybe if I can get there before, I think they'll still cook me something to eat. It's getting a little late in the day, but we'll try it anyway. We're gonna head in, maybe go play a game of cards tonight, and tomorrow do it all over again.